Welcome to Makeshift Stories, Flash Fiction Shorts, a bonus episode. Join us for a brief glimpse into a possible future as we present episode 310, No I in AI, read by Kathleen Connolly. Opening and closing theme by Matthew Erdman.
Salvini hit return, and somewhere in her former employer's data center, her code came alive. "Bandhu's hitching a ride," she said with a crooked smile, staring out the mud-splattered basement apartment window. "I put the back door in when I caught wind that we were all going to be let go. My AI replacement's too dumb to find it. However, the part of it I've just taken over is going to help me get a new job. She hesitated. Poetic, don't you think?" 2 steps brought Neela, Salvini's roommate, from the kitchenette to the communal desk with the shared terminal. "There's no guarantee," she reminded. "True, but I fed it data from every job interview platform I could hack. It knows every trick those systems throw at applicants. I prompted Bandhu to get me something that won't be replaced by AI next week." A group of feet in heavily worn shoes trudged by at eye level on the sidewalk outside. "I'm only a sales cycle away from sleeping rough," Salvini nodded out the window. "I don't want to be like them, panhandling at street corners." Neela stared expectantly at the screen. "It won't happen right away, Neela. Bandhu needs to read and analyze every job posting, write a custom CV for every position, create a high-resolution avatar tailored for each shortlisted, complete both initial and final interviews, and negotiate the best contract. A few days or a week, depending on how fast the hiring platforms are." 10 minutes flashed in the corner of the screen. Salvini slid her chair away from the desk. "I still have time. Want to use it?" Neela nodded, exchanging places. With 2 minutes remaining on the timer, a message appeared. "Possibility identified. Should I pursue?" "Shouldn't you look at what Bandhu found?" her roommate questioned. "Nah. It knows me and what I'm capable of. It'll pick the right job." Salvini dismissed. "You're sure?" "Yeah. I'll check it out if Bandhu gets me shortlisted, and I don't want to pay for another half hour of internet access." Neela typed yes, and the session ended. "You have 20 credits left in your account," the terminal announced. "Gotta go. Can't afford to have lowest sales again." Salvini threw on her coat with the StarConnect ID badge pinned to its chest. "I need to sell at least 4 subscriptions today. Talk to you later." The smell of Neela's dinner mixed with their other roommate's takeout assaulted Salvini as soon as she opened the door. "How was your day?" Neela asked between mouthfuls of some innocuous curry. "I didn't make quota." Salvini slumped into the chair by the desk. "So?" Neela asked. "It's stack ranking. The person at the bottom of a sales cycle is tossed out. So sorry to hear that." The workstation chimed. "It's been doing that all afternoon," Neela complained. "I think your AI agent is trying to get hold of you. Maybe it's good news." Salvini ripped the ID badge from her coat and tossed it in the garbage. "I hope so. My net access account is running out of credit." The terminal beeped impatiently again. Salvini turned her attention to it and logged in. "Based on your criteria, I have identified an opening, applied and completed the interview process. Further direction needed." The message repeated down the screen. "Bandhu's found something!" Salvini's voice cracked with excitement. Neela froze mid-chew, eyes wide, and leaned over as Salvini opened a connection to her homemade AI agent. "What's the job?" "I don't know yet." "Can an AI do this job?" Salvini typed. "I'm not going to be replaced again." There was a moment's hesitation before the response. The position, a remote robotics operator, is already partly automated. However, it involves complex contextual decision-making that AI cannot handle. It is safe. However, the avatar I created for the interview claimed you are an expert in remote operations. With your computer science background, robotics is not a great leap. Below is the offer. You just need to accept it." "Wow!" Neela exclaimed. "When you move out of here, can I come with you?" The building wasn't what Salvini expected. The Longinquist Institute for Remote Operations was an ultra-modern glass cube with minimal signage, which suggested either that they had so much money they didn't care about branding, or that they had a lot to hide. Either way, it didn't matter to Salvini. She pressed her hand to the palm reader at the door, and security buzzed her through. "Welcome, Miss Basu. They're waiting upstairs." A courteous guard showed her how to use the elevator, which required another palm scan. "It knows where you're going." Salvini stepped in. A moment later, the door slid open, and she exited into a dimly lit hall. Halfway down, a man was waving. "Ms. Basu," he called. "This is your station." He ushered her into a small room. A workstation, an AR headset, and control gloves were carefully positioned on a desk. "From your interview, we know you're well-versed in remote surgical setups. They're waiting for you. I'll leave you to it." The man nodded at the workstation and left. Surgical? The implication crashed into her. Salvini stared nervously at the rig, then reluctantly pulled on the gloves and headset, sweat beginning to bead on her forehead. She found herself in an operating room with a patient already sedated. Her heart tried to jump out of her chest. "We're ready for you, doctor," a nurse said, looking into the camera. "You can do this," Salvini muttered, opening a window in her heads-up display. "Bandhu," she whispered, "tell me you know how to perform brain surgery."
I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode. Please share it with your friends or leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps new listeners find us and keeps the podcast going. If you'd like to connect with us, please email makeshiftstories@gmail.com or visit our website at makeshiftstories.com. Makeshift Stories' main story is released in the first week of each month. This episode was written by Vern Hume, aka Alan V. Hare, and read by Kathleen Connolly. Opening and closing themes were composed and recorded by Matthew Erdman. Audio production and editing by Vicata Studios. Makeshift Stories is released under a Creative Commons non-commercial, attribution, no derivative license.